Hi, so we're actually changing up the format on this channel. Instead of me putting on my makeup while I tell the stories, because I really want to focus on the stories, we are just going to tell the stories and not do the makeup. So, today, and I've got on my, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got on my Frankenstein shirt. But today we are going to talk about the city of San Juan, Puerto Rico. This is actually one of my favorite places to visit. We'll be going there in August on a cruise, so I'll be sure to take some pictures while I'm there and post them here or, on my other social media accounts. So, San Juan's history is, of course, very entwined with the island of Puerto Rico, which, by the way, translates to rich port. And I'll tell you who gave that name if you don't already know. So, San Juan was founded in 1521 by Juan Ponce de Leon. He actually named the city of Puerto Rico, which translates to, like I said, rich port. Columbus will land at Puerto Rico in 1493, and he actually named the island San Juan Bautista in honor of John the Baptist. So the name San Juan will stick as the name for the capital, and Ponce de Leon will become the governor of the island, or the settlement. He actually founded the original settlement, which is, I can't even read my own writing, Capara, or Pueblo Viejo, and this is the west part of the present city of San Juan, so this is west of that area. The original settlement will be relocated to a nearby inlet, and this will become the San Juan we know today. So there's a big harbor there. It's actually very pretty. I'm already thinking about it. But in the 16th century, San Juan will serve as a jump-off point to explore parts of the New World. So these are places like the Yucatan, even what we today would call the Gulf Coast. Those are going to be what they mean by the New World. And like just that whole area. And I'll put a map somewhere to give you what I mean. So now we're going to talk about Haunted San Juan. So that was basically like a little short history course on San Juan and, well, mostly San Juan. So the first place we're going to talk about is Castillo San Felipe del Moro, aka El Moro. So people say that this fort is haunted due to its history, and it has a turbulent history. I would advise you to look it up. Or its proximity to Santa Maria Magdalena de Pazis Cemetery. And I've actually seen this cemetery. So when I was there, excuse me, we were on a tour, and I was like, wait a minute, I didn't know that there was a cemetery like right next to El Moro. And the guy was like, our tour guide was like, yeah. Yeah. And so that's where people think that the ghosts are coming from. And there is, everybody has their woman in white story, and so do the people of San Juan. So, a woman in white is said to glide through the fortress, and people who work at the fort claim to have heard screams coming from the dungeons. Now, I don't think that's connected to the woman in white. I think that's just connected to the history of the fort and probably all the effed up ish that happened there. But people have claimed to see this woman in white and heard the screams, and the screams are the scariest because disembodied voices, disembodied anything is creepy to me, especially screams, because you don't know where it's coming from, you don't know what's popping off, or maybe you have an idea and you're like, I'm not going to investigate it. So that is El Moro. Now, the counterpart to El Moro is Fort San Cristobal, and this was built by the Spanish to help protect the city from attacks. So pirates, the English, pirates, everybody who was coming for Puerto Rico. Yeah. That's who they were protecting themselves from. So obviously this fortress has many places where soldiers can stand, including turrets. But there is one turret or one guard tower that has the dubious nickname Garita del Diablo, or Devil's Watchtower. So this turret, or this watchtower guard area, terrified soldiers. And it is said that many soldiers were stationed at this watchtower, then disappeared while on watch. So this is why they were freaked out about it. And here's what makes it worse. Only their clothes and weapons were left behind. I didn't know that part when I first heard the story. I just knew that, like, they would disappear and no one would know where they went. And I mean, at first people thought, well, maybe they jumped out of the watchtower, but you know, you could see, you would see a body below this watchtower if they jumped. But the legend has it that the devil himself was coming to devour the body of the soldier, leaving the clothes behind. I guess clothes and weapons are not digestible to the Prince of Darkness. So they actually had to force soldiers, which are people, I'm sorry, force people or soldiers to go and stand guard at this watchtower, because they were not having it, because, El Diablo's there. Ain't nobody trying to deal with that. And people continue to disappear. Would I go there now? I don't think it's accessible. But even if it was, I'm not tempting fate. So there's also a tale of forbidden love. According to the legend, Maria Dolores was the daughter of the executioner there at San Cristobal. And Maria fell in love with a drifter called Betancourt. And Betancourt was found guilty of theft and executed by Maria's father. Once Maria saw her man hanged, consumed by grief, she hanged herself next to him. And the couple is said to be wandering around with her husband. And the even, I guess you could say, twisted part is that, if I remember correctly, San Cristobal, or is it El Moro, is the one where people get married at. It's beautiful. Like, I've seen weddings done. I can't remember. I think this is the one. But it's absolutely gorgeous. And now you have this tragic love story. So it's just, I don't know. But it is sad. That's unfortunate. And I tried to look up who Betancourt was, but I couldn't find it. So yeah. So that is the few places. This is a very short video, but that is the few places that I chose to cover about San Juan. Now, I do have a TikTok video that talks about this other area, or this other place in Puerto Rico on the island, and it is about a farmer and his cow. And I would encourage you to look at that, because it is pretty terrifying. Honestly, it was wild. So yeah. So I'm sorry this video was so short, but I will see you all on my next video. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to cover yet, but I'll give you an idea when I find something to cover.